All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel presented by Connors and Ferris, Mike Catalana, Dan Fates. I am Jenna Cottrell. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our content.
Take your anger out by clicking the subscribe button
as
hard as possible.
We are breaking
Smash
down
your keyboard.
the Bills' 22-16 overtime loss to the Jets at MetLife Stadium. It happened. It was painful to watch. It slipped through the Bills' fingertips, and we're going to break it down. We have our 10 takeaways. Let's start with Josh Allen.
He was bad. Look, he made a few really good plays. Josh always does that.
Yeah.
He let him down for that tying touchdown. That was great. Or tying field goal, excuse me. That was great. But he took the heat. So I know a lot of you guys are going to comment and say, oh, Josh didn't do this. You're going to give an excuse about the O-line. You're going to talk about Ken Dorsey. All those things play into it.
Correct.
He said, I hurt the team. This one is on me. And Jenna, Dan, how many times have we heard Josh say that when you feel like he's being the good quarterback?
Yeah.
This time, it's on Josh Allen.
Yeah, it was ugly. We disagree. Look, there were 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions, the fumble. Honestly, it could have been 5 because the play that was blown dead early, he fumbled it again.
Yeah.
They weren't able to. So it could have been 5 turnovers that would have been laid up another touchdown for the Jets. I know. It wasn't a turnover. It's still concerning. So turnovers shot themselves in the foot. Sean McDermott said it afterwards. And yeah, Josh Allen took ownership and said, it's hard. It's a bad feeling when you feel like you're the reason, and I was the reason we lost tonight.
Sometimes Josh is who Josh is. He has those amazing plays, and then he has his head-scratching ones. But I feel like with his confidence, it almost is a double-edged sword because sometimes he puts the ball in precarious situations because he's gotten results with those amazing plays before, and sometimes it backfires. And let's be real, the thing that scares me the most is the fact that this just feels like a continuation of the question marks and concerns we had from last season.
Jenny talks about his confidence being a problem. Arm arrogance. He thinks he can put the ball at times wherever he wants.
I don't think it's always a problem.
I'm going to call a timeout here on this. I don't think the issue is arm arrogance. He threw one ball to Gabe Davis. I said it was like throwing it through Midtown traffic, and it got to Gabe. That was arm arrogance. The passes he made were terrible decisions.
Yeah, that's fair.
He is throwing into coverage.
But
he
it's
is
a
throwing.
decision he thinks he can make.
Yeah, but we're not talking about saying I can fit it in the hole. It's like he's disregarding that there's a defender there.
Arm arrogance.
No.
He thinks he can throw it through him.
That's not what he's doing. The play to Whitehead on the sidelines, he says, oh, the kid made a nice play. This guy doesn't. I guess I was just hearing that he's like Darrelle Revis's nephew, cousin, something.
Oh.
Darrelle Revis never had 3 interceptions for this team. Jordan Whitehead does. The one in the end zone, you throw it to the smallest guy on the team 50 yards downfield when you could have run. No, it is about decision making. You know how they say like the completion percentage is a decision-making stat, right? You say that. I think it's Orlovsky. One of those guys says it all the time. Some of the turnovers are decision-making.
Yep.
I think you're right. There was a lot of times where it is arm arrogance, and he gets away with a lot of them because he's Josh. I think it's just like, what are you looking at? He
What
really
do you
is.
mean?
And this is, look, we love what the guy's done for your team. He's been a great player, but he's in something right now. Coming off of last year, he's sitting there with us in the post game, and it was more despondent than I've seen him. And he's like, it's eerily similar to last year. And a couple of guys took that to mean the Jets game. I took it to mean just bad mistakes that he made during last season.
That is my concern, though, is something that we've talked about seeing last season, how he had such high turnovers, and to come into the season, play the way he did, and have all those mistakes. And you were fine with some of the interceptions. You're like,
I was okay with the first one.
Yeah.
I was. To me, we disagreed on that. I thought the first one was a punt. Whatever. You take a shot. You hope. Maybe you draw a flag. Whatever. That was actually one of the few times they actually pinned them deep.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
That's
They actually
fair.
pinned them deep.
I would say it's drought-era Bills when we're parsing the turnovers. This is not that team. Josh Allen's that quarterback.
My brain's mush.
If he
I'm
takes care of the
concerned.
ball, the Bills win this game. I won't say handily because the Jets do have a good defense, but they control the game.
Sean talked about it at his post-game press conference. He goes, you're up 13-3. Aaron Rodgers is out. It's Zach Wilson. You pretty much need to run out the clock.
Yeah.
Now, Sean didn't actually say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I feel like you should.
No, he
But-
said you got to be smart with the ball.
Yeah,
Correct.
and he was like, "We were not smart."
I like that Dan took it. You took it all the way to Zach Wilson stinks, and
Yeah,
we just
Zach.
run the
He
clock
did
out.
say. He did,
Well, he
did
said
say-
with respect to
to
Zach
Zach.
Wilson.
Well, he
different
said he
quarterback.
doesn't have the
Yeah.
experience of Aaron Rodgers.
You know what this game felt like a little
Dan's
bit?
just distilling it down.
Yeah,
Dan is just
What Sean said, what
the
he meant.
pure McDermott off the tap.
this a little bit was similar to that playoff game in 2020 in Houston when it was
Oh,
16 to nothing at halftime,
gross,
and
yeah.
the Houston offense was so bad, and I sat there and I was like, "There's no way they can blow this game." They did. The Bills threw up all over themselves.
Right, but they were different. What I'm saying is, okay, so now let's continue. He brought up Sean McDermott
Yeah.
because that's our second point, how Sean reacted. He says it in a way that is the way a coach would speak. Josh has to play better.
Yeah.
I know Josh can play better. He showed, like the drive at the end was great. Even with the penalty, they got the field goal to tie the game up. But he is frustrated, and they've been trying to beat this into his head. Be smarter with the ball. He's talking to him during the game about being
Yeah.
smarter with the ball. Josh should be past that. Not a dumb mistake. This was 2 or 3 or 4. Not even that. Guys, how about him trying to run through a defender, jump over him on a 3rd and 16 or whatever
Yeah.
it was?
Hey, he talked he was going to be smarter this year. That lasted 2 quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's frustrating.
It is frustrating.
And you're frustrated watching it. There's no doubt. It doesn't mean Josh can't come out starting next week and start lighting it up because we
Yeah.
know he can do that.
The touchdown to Stephon Diggs was
Unreal.
Beauty.
Yeah.
just absurd.
Yeah.
I tweeted, he's an alien. You can't tell me otherwise. That just shouldn't be a touchdown. And he made it one.
Yeah.
Next gen stats, there have been 3 touchdowns since 2018 that the quarterback has thrown it when he's less than a yard from the out of bounds. And all 3 are Josh Allen.
Here's another next-gen stat for you. Josh Allen has 84 turnovers since 2018. That's the most in the NFL.
Yeah, I did see that.
Here's
That's
a
not
next
great,
gen
Bob.
stat for you. Jordan Whitehead had 3 interceptions. I mean, seriously, not Sauce Gardner here. It's not G.J.
no.
Reed.
Yeah. It's
So-
Jordan Whitehead. We were like, is that the same guy?
Okay.
Allen's
was-
teammates stood up for him.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
next point.
Obviously, Mike and I went in the locker room. Deion Dawkins saying that it's not all on him. That's the type of leader he is. Dawson Knox said the same thing. Gabe said that he feels at times he's the one that has cost his team a game. It wasn't Josh. All of those things. Obviously, the team's rallying around 17, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
And it is one game.
Yeah, oh no, that part is
Yeah.
true. But they're rallying around him, but I think they accept the fact that this was a bad one for Josh.
100%.
Yeah.
The teammates do. It does happen. It's just, and against the Jets. I mean,
Yeah.
that makes it tough. First and foremost,
Oh.
it's a division game. And it's a division loss.
It's just brutal. I mean, Aaron Rodgers goes out the first drive of the game for the Jets, and obviously, it's whatever injury it is, we don't know the specifics yet.
Yeah.
That's awful to see that. And you think, okay, the Bills have this one wrapped up in a bow. They have it on a silver platter, and for the Jets to have the walk-off touchdown in overtime,
Oh, he's dying to say something.
It's Zach Bleepin Wilson beat him.
Again.
I know again. Yeah, it's just incredibly frustrating. And if you're a Bills fan, Mike, I think there's many layers of things that you're critical of, things you're concerned about, things that you're really anxious to see. Because even Sean McDermott said after the game the fact that, yeah, look, we have to learn our lessons fast, but. I mean, I know we started on offense, but let's talk a little bit about the run defense, because
Ooh.
that was something that
Yeah.
we've talked so much over the years about the Bills and bad run defense. Obviously, Leslie Frazier is now gone. It's Sean McDermott calling the defense. And we were joking about how we were going to hear about gap integrity this week going forward in the news conferences. But it is kind of who they are. Like, we've shown time and again that this is a problem for this team.
Yeah, I mean, Brees Hall was crushing them.
Crushing them.
And, he took off. And one of the other things we were going to talk about was Christian Benford. What a play he
Yeah.
made. Chasing him
Phenomenal.
down. I didn't realize he had that much
I was
speed.
gonna say, I didn't know he was that fast.
neither.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, whatever they time you in the 40, he's got football speed
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
and Jenna and I are Dan's on the field, Jenna and I are in the press box, and we're looking straight down, and you are just seeing this beeline And Brees Hall can move.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And he tracked him down. Great effort play. Saved him 4 points.
Yeah.
Absolutely saved him 4 points. But the idea about the defense, and again, if you were going against Aaron Rodgers, where you have to respect the pass game more, I could see it. But Rodgers was out.
Yeah.
And it's Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson,
Zach
he doesn't
Wilson.
own the Bills, but he's beaten them back-to-back years here.
It's gross.
With a great defense, but he's beaten them twice.
I know we're zigzagging around this because it's just the game was drunk, and that's kind of how we're going through this thing.
Yeah.
This place was electric.
Yeah.
I thought
For a while, it was quiet, right?
pregame, absurd. I mean, obviously we have the 9/11 honor,
Yeah.
all of those things, chills, lights out, all those things. Rodgers comes out with the flag. Yeah, there was a shock and awe of Rodgers goes down. Leonard Floyd, I thought the pass rush was great. Leonard Floyd,
Yeah.
freak. He is, just
Yeah.
he is the speed of Vaughn and the size of Greg Rousseau. Like
Yeah.
he's absolutely just amazing. Makes the sack. I'm following Floyd, and then all of a sudden everybody kind of stops.
Well, if you see it on the replay, Rodgers is standing there, and then he just can't put any weight, and then he drops down.
Yeah.
And then they take him off the field, and
We were
yeah,
like, wait, is he down still?
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
yeah.
So that was one of the things. And again, I thought the pass rush was solid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought Greg Rousseau played pretty well as
Yeah,
well.
he made a couple of nice plays on the edge.
Yeah.
He made that one play where he protected the edge and then knocked the ball away
Yep.
and then picked it up like it was out of
It
bounds.
was like very endearing.
Yeah.
Like a little kid would
But
do.
he made some nice plays. Yeah, we saw that. But you were right about the run defense. And, I mean, it cost them because the Jets were able to maintain the ball. That was
yes.
the thing.
But
Yeah.
if I'm pointing blame in where I'm ranking blame, the defense is very low in all of this.
Agreed.
No, I
Okay?
agree.
Because I thought Sean McDermott did all of the things. I thought it was well.
Yeah,
I
and-
thought Bernard played okay.
Okay. Made
I
a few nice plays.
Yeah.
I thought Matt Milano stud
Well,
again.
big mouth
Beast.
Matt Milano, always yapping,
Love it.
gets a taunting penalty.
Loved it.
Legitimately
Also,
after, I'm like, I've never really heard him talk.
Wilson laid him out. I mean, it was a good hit by Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean, he threw it right to him.
Yeah.
And at least he took it out on him. But
Yeah.
for Milano to give it something, 15 yards well worth it in my eyes.
Every
Yeah.
time there was that hit, it was Milano. He
Yes.
played angry.
Yep.
He did.
Somebody on the didn't play great. This was probably the worst game I've seen Jordan Poyer play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to guard against making long-term projections
Correct.
on a game
I'm
because
just-
Jordan
I'm just
Poyer
analyze- I'm just
has
looking
been a
at this.
worry.
I'm
You're
just
right.
Analyzing.
I mean, we saw it we saw it in the preseason.
Not high.
Took a bad angle on a run.
Yep.
Yeah.
Saw it here. Took a bad angle.
Yeah.
And look, what have we prided? The Bills have prided themselves on the safeties,
Yeah.
not giving up the big plays, and that is pass plays, but it's also run plays.
Yep.
And they gave up that one. It looked bad. I mean, it didn't look great. You said it's one game,
Yeah.
but as guys get a little older, people want to blame everything on age. They always want to say it's the old guy. But as guys get a little older, you start looking and going, is there cracks in the guy's game?
Yeah.
He played with so many injuries last year,
He really
and he
did.
stayed on the field. But
Yeah.
and Trey White made a couple nice plays, but other times, and then the play in the end zone,
That was.
he
that
could
was
have had a
tough.
pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Garrett Wilson just
Yanked
snatched the
it,
ball, and
yeah.
it became a touchdown.
It's a great
and tied
player
the
making
game.
a great play.
It was.
Yeah, it is.
But you want Trey White to be a great
Yeah.
player
to
there.
say, he's disappointed in the way he played.
A couple of things that just from being on the sideline that I've, you kind of get to interact with the players a little bit because you're
there. Yeah.
Deion Dawkins was talking, literally he's talking to me on the sidelines, and he's like, the Jets just always play us tough.
Yeah.
It was one of the things, and he goes, and I kind of laughed, and I said, they ugly up the game. Like, Mike, you tweeted, this
Yeah.
game is ugly.
Yeah.
That's the kind of game the Jets want to play with Zach Wilson. I don't think
Yeah.
they would have wanted to play this way with Aaron Rodgers. They thought they
Yeah.
were changing it, but they were able to ugly it up. The vibe when the offense was coming off the field a lot of times, a lot of heads hanging. It just didn't feel, again, as we've talked about it, we've had concerns about the offense. But one guy whose head was never hanging was Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the really bad fumble from Josh to allow the go-ahead field goal. Steph's the first one coming off the field, and he's going like this. And I didn't know what it was for a second. He kind of keeps going like this. And I'm like, is he saying choking? Like, what's he saying? And he goes, everybody chins up. Everybody. He's going up and down the defense, telling them chins up. Like,
Yeah. That's important.
I looked and I said, like, throw him the ball every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay to force the ball to 14.
Yeah.
It just is. He's that good of a player, and he had a great first half. 6 catches for like 61
67 yards,
yards,
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
and they got away from him.
Yeah.
And then they came back at the
Yeah,
end and
yeah.
he made
Hey,
plays.
Shocking. It works.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
and by the way, real quick on that drive, at the end of the regulation, they end up getting the field goal. Tyler Bass off the post, and it goes
Ooh.
through. They ran two
Two.
plays when they had
Threw a
gotten the
deep
first.
ball to Gabe, and then threw it out of bounds.
I'm sorry, and I should have asked Sean about it at the end, but in the context of everything that was going on, I thought those plays were idiotic.
Hate it.
we said we were like, I would have kicked the field goal.
Well,
here.
because yes, if you're taking a shot to the end zone, we can win it here. Totally get it. But you have to be so careful. Number one, you don't want to turn it over.
Yeah.
Number two, you only have so much time before the clock goes to zero. But they had enough time.
yeah.
But if you take a penalty there, if somebody gets caught for holding,
Killer.
Full
it's
start.
10 yards. You
Killer.
could miss. False start is 5.
Killer.
And and I looked at that and I didn't get it. What are you running the clock down so Zach Wilson doesn't get the ball at the end? Kick
Yeah.
the field goal then. Anyhow, they kicked it. They made it. I just had to bring it up because it was at the
Yeah.
end of that drive where Diggs caught it. Diggs caught it again. Yeah,
Bless
you're
you.
sneezing on the air.
That's
Dan sneezed on the air in the show today.
Do you
Jenna
notice how
sneezing.
Mike just like boxes everybody out as this like?
I haven't moved.
sorry.
We'll do a
excuse
time
me.
lapse. We'll do a time lapse.
Hold on. Feet haven't moved.
That's not true. You sway. You can move your body without moving your feet.
Tyler Bass, obviously, when you're filming, you're just focused on the kicker. He kicks it and goes. Unbelievable. I want to put the still frames in of this moment of, I'm like, oh, he drilled it. As soon as it hits his foot, he's like, and then it's like,
Oh my god.
unbelievable. And then to turn around and see the replay, 50-yarder hit the flag.
And it hit very close to the front of the post.
Yes.
And
Yes.
somehow it went through.
Yes.
But and the other play, you don't like those play calls at the end of regulation. If there's one thing I hate, it's first down runs. If there's something I hate even more, it is second down draw plays on second and
15. Yeah.
I know this is YouTube and we can swear a little bit, but I'll refrain. That just blew my mind.
Oh, and
That
it
was
blew my
as
mind.
soon as that we're like, what are they doing?
And then I would also say, if you are going to run a draw on 2nd and 15, do not run it at Quinnen Williams.
Yeah. That
Do
seems-
not run any plays towards
At
Quinnen
that,
Williams.
at
It
that
was
point,
bad.
if you're going to run a draw on second and 15, punt on third down. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
No,
No,
I
I
hear
didn't
you.
get it. Honestly, he was asked about it. The idea
Off
of
schedule.
kicking. No, the idea
No.
of kicking into overtime. And I get it. You just went down and scored, so you want the ball. And the idea is you can score a touchdown and win the game. But honestly, I thought, oh, I don't want the ball. The way these two offenses are, I don't want the ball. Would have rather kicked them deep. But it's hard to do that. You know, it's hard to say we're not going to give Josh Allen and the Bills
Correct.
offense the ball.
Yeah.
So they took it 3 and out, lost 5 yards, give it up, and then the punt is just. I shouldn't say it's a fitting way to end this game because
it's
that
pretty
wasn't it. It just was a swift way. This place went. I mean, obviously went
Yeah, it
crazy.
was insane.
We're all on the field after the game. So.
I said the game was drunk, and at the end, the Bills threw up all over themselves.
It was just really upsetting because you felt like, okay, the Bills have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
After that Diggs touchdown, I was like, yep, that's Josh Allen and Diggs. They're back, all these things. And then just to watch the way this one slipped through their fingers was just really tough because it's those things that we've talked about that are seemingly coming up again. And they'll talk all about how it's a new season, it's a new team. But I'm like, these are the same kind of narratives that are following you into another year.
Go ahead. We have not mentioned the offensive coordinator once.
Should we talk about the O-line too?
Well, it all plays into it.
Yeah, it's just
Spencer Brown also.
it's just
though.
not good. It's just not good. The offense, Jeremy White from WGR thought it great. The offense looks uncoordinated.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. That's funny.
That's what it looks like. So somebody replied and said the offense is missing something, and he replied with points. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
They don't, and I'm so sick and tired. So sick and tired. And I know it's part of it's the cliche, but like, hey, they're a talented defense. Okay, so do you just lay an egg against talented defenses? You just don't try anything? Like, they had no deep shots,
Well,
nothing,
they
the
did-
middle of the field.
They
it was-
did try to get the ball out quicker. They had plays
Yeah.
for Kincaid. They had plays for Hardy. I'm getting that. Look, there's a lot of blame to go with Dorsey because the offense does not have rhythm, and maybe it's impacting Josh Allen. But when your O-line plays poorly and you turn the ball over, it could be Josh Allen or the night before when it was Brian Daboll with Daniel Jones, who played and his offensive line played like that. And that's not the kind of people you should be compared to. Now, they didn't lose 40-0.
Yeah.
But I'm saying is, there's a lot of blame to go for Dorsey through his year plus as coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
But tonight, honestly, I would say have all those plays, have the play calls, have all that stuff. If the quarterback controls the ball much better and makes better decisions, at least the Bills win this game.
Real quick, as we wrap this up, how about we do one thing we liked, one thing we didn't like from today?
Okay. Yeah, you want to
Michael?
start?
What did I like about this game? I mentioned it already, but I thought the effort play by Benford was my favorite thing of the night.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a touchdown. He saved the 4 points. He made up for mistakes by his teammates and showed something we hadn't seen. You called him a dog before the game.
Dog.
I loved that. I loved the way he played in that way, and I thought it was great. What I didn't like was how the Bills can play the Jets and not look like the better team. They don't look like the better team.
Yeah.
We know they are, at least in total, and most of that begins with number 17.
Yeah.
So that just amazes me that the Bills and the Jets have played really the last 3 games, because even the one at home, even though the Bills won that game, it was tight.
Yeah.
They just don't look like the clearly better team.
I agree. I'm going to start negative and then go positive. My negative is that what I didn't like from this game is the Bills looked average. They looked like they couldn't get anything going on offense. They couldn't build any momentum. They couldn't continue any momentum. The turnovers were terrible. And it's just things like that where you're like, you have Josh Allen. And it's Josh Allen, but it's not computing. It's not the Josh Allen that we're used to of years past. He has some incredible plays, but some very head-scratching ones as well. So that is something that, and my thing is, confidence is very tricky. Like, that is something that and I know we talked about it earlier, but, when you start to doubt yourself and to question yourself, that can be crippling.
I just want to interrupt you because when we were talking about Sean, we didn't mention that. Adam Bonini asked a question about Josh's confidence, and he said, I'm concerned about it. I know, but we are talking about Josh Allen here. Supremely confident guy who has used that confidence to play great football for this team. And Sean did not hesitate for a second, saying, it's a concern just because it's your quarterback. And he said everybody goes up and down. And I thought that was kind of telling because
I did too.
Sometimes coaches would just say, not with Josh, he's fine, he'll bounce back. And I think he will.
Yes.
But to be concerned about
doubt
it
is real. And I think that can mess with any player's head, especially a quarterback.
What's your positive?
Matt Milano is that dude. Like, he doesn't really talk to us, which is fine. He doesn't really talk a lot, but the way he makes plays, his physicality, he's all over the ball. Like, he's just that guy that sometimes I think we forget about because we don't really hear from him. And then he shows up and he makes big-time plays and big-time moments. And, look, there's a lot of questions about the Bills' linebacking core, Terrell Bernard being in there. But there is no question that Matt Milano is he's excellent.
My positive, Stephon Diggs, leader. I think, I don't know if there was a question, and I said I picked it in my best bets. I thought that he would come out and have a statement. That the edge of, I want the ball, put it on me. I think he really had that. My negative, Ken Dorsey, and it's not a surprise, the fact that we haven't been able to rein in Josh Allen in these 2 years with turnovers. The fact that whatever the message is not getting through to Josh.
But how much
Brian Daboll had a way of getting through to him for whatever reason. And again, I always thought it was very telling. Daboll was like a father figure. Dorsey was like a buddy. And now your buddy is trying to rein you in, and it's not working. And I don't know whether they'll never talk about their relationship. They say all the great things. It just doesn't seem to be working. And whether or not Dorsey has to come down on the field to be able to rein him in to do something like that, a change has to be made. We are now going on a larger sample size than just a few games with Ken Dorsey and all of these things. It's not working.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating.
I will agree with you on that, and I think this game could be the one that motivates change, because this
Yeah.
one was really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, this was again, everybody contributed. O-line,
Yeah.
everybody.
Oh, run defense. I know, like, that will get pointed out. It's the offense. The offense lost this game.
It's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No.
And then the punt return was a touchdown that
Special
ends the
team.
game. But what we're saying is,
Yeah.
on offense, there's all those things, but there's something off with Josh. There just is. And he's
Yeah.
making mistakes that he can't make.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I'm tired too. What
Yeah.
time is it?
It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
1:03 in the
Last
morning.
By the
people
way,
working hard here.
I looked at Diggs.
James Cook,
13
nice flashes.
Yes.
Especially in the passing game.
Yeah.
Yes.
I liked that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Got caught in the backfield a little bit, but that's going to happen. Showed good speed a couple of times when the play was strung
Yes.
out. He got
Got to the
around the
edge.
outside.
Yeah.
But Diggs, 13 targets, 10 catches, lost one on the pass interference.
Yeah.
I think it was Sauce that he gave a push to, but that's all right.
Yeah.
That's fine. He got the better of Sauce in this one, but Jets won the game. And
I
by the way,
was-
I just want to tell
oh.
you that I purposely stayed
You
back
did much
in my
better.
spot.
Good
Wow,
job, Michael.
good job.
Thank you. I learned. See,
Really proud of you.
I make mistakes and I learn from them. Sometimes.
No comment. No, I pulled a Nostradamus. Damus. I said Stephon Diggs would
What?
have the first Bills touchdown of the season.
Nostradamus.
When?
Like Dan.
I know, but you said
Nostradamus.
When did you say that?
I tweeted it before he scored the touchdown. I also said it on Sunday. I said if I,
Really?
yeah, in prop bets. I
Oh.
was like,
Look at you with prop bets.
I'm gonna clip it and I'm gonna make a reel about it. I'm actually not.
Next week it'll be out.
I'm not because I'm way too lazy. But I did that. It happened. All right.
Let's just
All
wrap
right.
this
Raiders.
up.
Raiders next.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For Mike and Dan. Dan shot the game. He had a hell of a game.
Yes.
You
He had a
did.
strong
You did
game.
good, kid.
Yeah.
Done good.
You done good. All right. I'm Jenna.
I didn't turn the
Chin
ball
up.
over.
Chin up.
Comment your
Yeah.
positive and negative from the game.
And what do you think about Josh? I mean,
Your
seriously.
opinion. Yeah.
You know, this is not. It's anything. He's not getting benched. It's none of that stuff. It's just he's got to be better.
Yeah.
It was the other Jets game where he said I played like, yeah,
Sure.
that was the other Jets game.
Yeah.
That they lost, and he said I played like, it's tough to
Sure.
win when your quarterback plays like.
Sure.
Oh God.
Okay. Bye. Dude, your back must hurt.